Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Cooking with the Amateur Sommelier. You obviously know who I am, hopefully anyway. And today, we're going to do something absolutely, completely, and miserably outrageous with this shrimp. Because with this shrimp, I was thinking I was going to marinate the shrimp with this 7-Up, because apparently that's a thing in this particular bag, but I'm not going to lie. I don't know if it's going to work the way I envision. So, please. I'm going to get a bag I think I was thinking I was not going to use, and now I'm going to use anyway. Rechanged my mind. I'm going to put all my shrimp in there. Then, I'm going to put probably about a third or half of this can in here. Just let all the shrimp marinate in there while I go ahead and shave, shower, all those fun, lovely objects. The idea is to make this more of a sweeter kind of shrimp. Give it a more complex flavor. I'm not going to lie, it needs more soda. Get a little bit more in there. Alright, now it's a little over half. It also means I don't have a lot for the sauce that I'm going to be using with dinner tonight, but make sure all of that is well evenly distributed as possible, because frankly, I took the shrimp right out of the freezer. So, I will let this do its marinating thing, and I will be back, hopefully with a clean-shaven face, hopefully with the haircut, and we will continue this lovely recipe shenanigans. Ladies and gentlemen, the Amateur Sommelier has returned with, well, his hair is mostly cut off. There may be still a few hair spicks that I need to go back over with the razor, as well as clean shaven. I am showered. You guys can't really tell, but there is a pot of water, and it is, well, it's slowly going to be boiling eventually. And we have our fancy dancy wok over here, which we will be using this evening. But first, I'd like to get a little bit of heat on there, and then I'm just going to warm up a little bit of lemon oil. I want it to be a little bit bold. I didn't want to do sesame oil. I usually do sesame oil with this, but I'm going to do lemon oil. I want to be different. I'm going to be exciting. I want it to be, I don't know. Chili oil. We'll throw that in there. I like some spice with everything nice. That is way too much chili oil. That is going to be supremely spicy. I'm going to burn my mouth off. Alright, I'm going to put that on medium, slightly higher heat. Turn out a little bit. Fair issue. The shrimp ain't fully thawed, so this is about to become a very fascinating experiment of getting rid of the tails. It is going to be a very fascinating tail. Good piece of advice. How about we not try to thaw these out and marinate in 1 hour, maybe multiple hours, like at minimum 2, probably like 3 or 4, IDK. Most people will tell you that you should, if you really want a quick thaw of your shrimp, to go ahead and rinse under running tap water, preferably cool. Me, personally, on the other hand, well, if I'm already marinating into the 7-Up, and then I decide, hey, I want to actually rinse these now, we're kind of getting rid of the marinade, and we're kind of wasting our lives, aren't we? Because I feel like we are. Maybe y'all don't think so. I do. Let me know in the comments below. As we slowly but surely, I'll move the camera here in a hot segundo. Pretty sure that's not the correct term for second in Spanish, but we'll go with it. We'll live with it. Let's see if I can lower that. Ah, yeah, I can't get the best angle of our shrimp. But don't worry, I'm still here. I'm still working. This is what happens when you're working with only one camera currently. Oh well. I also like to make sure that they get evenly distributed so that they can cook equally. Is the shrimp going to be tough because, you know, it's going straight from frozen just about into a, well, warming pan of oil? Probably. This will probably not end the way I envisioned. But this is why we're here. It's a live science cooking experiment. And it may or may not also be editing down substantially. Some of these actually are, to be fair, slightly more thought out. But there are others that are clearly very, very frozen. It's going to be a very, very fascinating combination of what we're going to be doing here. Yeah. There are some people who say that cooking with the tails retains the flavor, but then I'd have to remember to not eat the tails. And if you know anything about me, I will not remember such things. Because that requires my intelligence, which I do not have. Which is very, very... Ah, there's a... something on my ear. This is not a bug. There's no intelligence. It feels like there's a bug now on my... What is happening? Is there a fly in this house? Guys, if there's a fly in my house, I'm going to have to cause complete and mortal destruction of this particular Drosophila when I find it. And it will end very unwell for our fly. Alright. So hopefully I'll also get any remaining tails out of our proto-marinade, which is basically 7-Up. Not going to end very well. If only I had a... Oh, actually, I might have a strainer. Let me see. Let me wash my hands first. If I can find that baby strainer. Maybe we'll further filter this. So I can throw it in there. Alright. Ah, hello world. Alright. Let's see if I can find baby strainer. Alright. There's no way this is going to end well, so brace yourselves. So you don't want to get any extra pieces of shell in here. Look at that. I have succeeded where lots of people have succeeded before me. I have filtered. No, I'm not drinking this. Are you insane? Ah, look at that. Alright, now I really need to crank that heat up. There's a good chance I'm going to have to additionally drain that because look at all that liquid in there. That is so much liquid. You see? Alright. That's going to have to get washed there as well. Somewhere. My counter space is quickly drying up. We have our tails, and those will get thrown out with our bag. Those used for the marinade. And I shall return with part 3, where hopefully our water will be boiling. And hopefully I'll get this shrimp boiling too. Somehow, one way or another. Until then, everybody. Alright, everybody. We have achieved the boiling. Not only of our shrimp, which I can actually start smelling the shrimp over there, but also... Ooh, that is a really hot laptop currently. The water. So what we'll do now... We'll go ahead and add our rice noodles to the water. And we'll let that boil. And I usually like to do mine for 8 minutes. And then I will probably strain out most of this other liquid for our shrimp over here. I'm gonna mix the rice noodles as well, so I will be back in somewhere between 8 and 10 minutes with the final product and results. So until then, everybody. Alrighty, everyone. The amateur sommelier does believe that everything. Oh, there's the timer. Is ready. And it's quite humid over here. And it's kind of gross. So I will start first by draining the shrimp. Because there's still a heck of a lot of liquid in there. Alright, you boys. And making sure I get all the liquid out of there. Oh my. There is a large amount of residue left over. Large, huge, volumetric ounce left in there. Get that out. There. Yep. Trying to get all the remnants of shrimp out from here. Yeah. Yep. And now, I will unload the rice noodles, which is the more difficult challenge here. Brace yourselves. Yep. And go down. We're going to attempt to get those remaining rice noodles stuck out from the bottom of the pan, because I am very greedy. Gotta figure out where I'm going to put this so I don't attempt to burn myself here. There we are. There you go. There. There. Yeah, that's not a good place for that. No. Yeah, there's no good place for that. There. Now, I'm going to take the noodles, where there is no water left, lower the bottom. It's still quite hot. Here it's simmering just a little bit. There for now. I move over here for everybody, so you'll see me. My dad's starting to really get on there. Alright. So, first thing we're going to do is get our Thai peanut sauce in here. So we can alleviate off heat at the bottom there. I usually like to go initially as much of the sauce in there from the bottom as possible. And now see with the liquid from the peanut sauce, it's starting to stop simmering as much. Let me see if I can angle that. Yeah, I can angle that all I want. Yeah, you can see better. There-ish. Not really. There we go. Well, more or less. And then the second thing we're going to do now is get the rest of the sauce out of the bottle. Now, normally it's a lot easier with wine, because of course everything's easier with wine. But Try not to drink wine. So we'll start with the remaining soda. Now this may end very poorly, as this is obviously carbonated. Actually, that is going fantastically well. See the sauce just literally running right out of there? That is a thing to behold. It goes right on in. Oh, this is going to be a lot more liquidy than I thought it would be. I hope the rice noodles soak up a good majority of that. You can see, you guys can see. You can't really. Ah, I'm about to lose a shrimp there. I'd like to not lose my shrimp. That would be fantastic and wonderful. Oh yeah, now it's definitely soaking in there. Okay, there we go. Yeah, like that. I gotta really stop trying to lose shrimp and noodles here. That's the good part. Legitimately. And then I'll go ahead and also add lemon or lime juice, soy sauce. And I will sit down to eat this for dinner, and that is, in essence... Actually, let me do this on camera. Please hold. I can just quick flip a hole here. I'm going to do lemon juice this time around. That's what's in the fridge. Let me get it though. All this, I don't even try it. There is just no point to this exercise, is there? Of course not. Why would there be a point? As if I closed my eyes, I would go back to bed and do nothing. What? If you know the song, comment down below. If you don't know the song, don't worry about it. But I will ask, why do you not know the song? Oh, and I'm using low sodium soy sauce also because, yeah, I have enough sodium in my life. I don't need more. Alright. Please stay resistance, everybody. See if I intentionally get the shrimp in here. Behold my creation. I like to not burn my mouth off, believe it or not. Mmm. It's kind of like a burnt cherry. It's the end there with the soy sauce. You don't even taste that much of the lemon juice you add in there, but I like burnt cherry, that soy mixed in there. You get a good bit of spices from the Thai peanut sauce. I dig it. I dig that very well. This is going to be delicious. So, thank you all so much for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe or follow. There's no alcohol in there, I swear. Depending on which platform you are watching, and I will be back at some point. Let me know in the comments if you want me to attempt to make my own homemade pate sauce, because apparently peanut sauce and pate sauce are like the same thing, according to the internet, which I didn't know, and I went down a rabbit hole and my brain exploded, and it was very fascinating. So let me know if you guys want to see that in the comments section down below, and have a good evening, everybody.